Well, I need the internet password.
You know what it is then? I think
Or
Alice.
better yet, just give the.
Written it down. She is the Girl Scout hero tonight.
Okay, you're trying to go.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice has been given of tonight's regularly scheduled meeting and public hearing to the Star Ledger Express Times has been posted to the bulletin board by the May office of Franklin Township Schools, sent to the township clerk, sent to all Board of Education members, and posted to the school website on January 8th, 2026. Notice was also given to the legal voters of Franklin Township School District that a public hearing would be held on Wednesday, May 6, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. for the purpose of conducting a public hearing on the budget for the 26 and 27 school year by placing this notice on the district website's homepage under legal notices, and has been posted to the bulletin board by the main office of Franklin Township Schools, sent to the township clerk, and sent to all the Board of Education members on April 29, 2026. Mr. Kramer, roll call.
Mrs. Bacon.
Here.
Mr. Sisson.
Here.
Mrs. Cummings.
Here.
Mrs. Jordan.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Duran was absent. Yes. We have a comment.
Can I get a motion to approve the above executive session resolution for the Franklin Township School, the Board of Education adjourning to closed session to discuss legal matters, wherein the length of time for the executive session is expected to be approximately 30 minutes, after which the meeting shall reconvene and proceed with business wherein action may be taken. Can I get a motion to approve action item 5?
So moved.
Can I get a second? We are, can I get all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We will adjourn into executive session at 5:32 p.m. All right, can I get a motion to reconvene the public portion of the meeting of Franklin Township Board of Education at 6:03? Can I get a second? Welcome back, everyone. We'll move it right along. The public hearing presentation. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing section for the budget presentation? Can I get a second? We are officially inside of that presentation. Chief, floor is yours.
Mrs. Castor, can you put that on the? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, for the people in the audience, and to our board members. This is our budget presentation. Mark and I will be presenting our fiscally responsible budget for this year. And I do want to start out by saying that Mark will always say, and has always said, it's the superintendent's budget. It's your budget. It's your budget. It's the superintendent's budget. So anytime something happens, he can blame me. But I do want to just point out that last year, when I stepped into this role, the budget was already created. So even though it was the superintendent's budget, it really wasn't my budget. This is really my first budget. And I am extremely and extraordinarily proud of this budget. I think we've worked very, very hard and have done really great things. So our commitment to you is obviously our students are always first. And that was where we came from in every decision that we made. I do believe it's fiscally responsible, and you can ask the man who puts the lights out when I walk out of the office just to use the bathroom. My lights are out. And of course, we're completely transparent so that you can see everything that we've worked on. One of the big things that Mark has tried to do in the past, I guess, but we were the most successful doing it, would you say, is called a decentralized budget. And there's a lot of things that is entailed in a decentralized budget, which you can read. But what I can tell you is each administrator gets their own budget to work with. And then we meet collaboratively as an administrative team so that each administrator has ownership to that department and has more fiscal control over what's being ordered, what's not, what's needed, what's not. So it really gives us a lot of leeway as far as what the overall budget looks like. Did you want to talk a little bit about, did I do enough to your decentralized budget? Because this is your baby. I did. Okay. Moving on. Thank you. So some of the things that we've reduced, and if you don't know, I tried to set up something back there if you guys want to move a little closer so that you can see it over there. So some of the things that we've reduced, administrative reductions were made across multiple sessions, all without compromising core instruction. So we've spent, I don't even want to say hours or days, we've spent months, weeks and months on this budget, all four of us. So huge thanks to Mark, to Larry Abramowitz, our supervisor of special services, and Amelia Lamont, who is our VP/curriculum coordinator, which is not the right term, but you get the gist. We have spent countless weeks, months, and hours on this budget. So here are the things that we have reduced in the budget and the cost associated with all of this. I'm not going to read all of it to you, but if you can't see it, I see it well. Board members, yeah, can you see okay?
Yeah, it does. The point is, all of these numbers that you see on the screen are reductions in cost.
Correct.
A reduction of 32,000.
Correct.
A reduction of 330,000.
Correct. Yes. Yes. And a lot of the pieces you will see come from the special education budget, like our transportation, our district tuition, our, I think there was, I just said transportation, or out of district placements. Yes. So this is where we reduced our budget, where we're choosing to invest moving forward. So we have some new staffing. There are new staffing items that are in our budget, a fourth grade teacher that we're bringing back because we reduced the numbers last year. The numbers are a little bigger, so we're going back to the 2 sections. A Spanish teacher, we did start an autistic class to try and not only bring our own students back in district, but to advertise and have other districts send their students to us. A special education preschool teacher, full-time interventionist, that is math, and 2 autism paraprofessionals. For our facilities, we have rooftop HVAC units that we're looking to replace, and an elevator that still is not working, that we're trying very hard to get to work, but they're all coming out of capital reserve, those 2 big numbers. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Which does not affect tax levy.
Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Benefits, of course, is where we're taking the hardest hit, as every district is. We have salary increases, and then our health benefits for our existing employees and the health benefits for the new positions that we're bringing in. Is this me or you? This is me. He is totally walking like it's him. He barked the orders. It is supposed to be my budget, and I did do the slides, so I'll probably take this one. All right. Oh, you jump in anytime, Mark. I mean, you are the money man. Okay, so revenue and tax levy impact. This is the only one that he does the rest of the money. So our base budget is 2%. I don't want to say anything that's wrong because then they'll scold me when we go back upstairs.
The increase to the tax levy is 2%.
Correct.
Okay.
Base
You want me to
budget
take this
increase.
one?
Okay, go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
please.
Would you like to access HD?
Oh,
And our presentation is over.
oh, sorry. This is Catherine. Yes, sorry. It's on my computer. I can pull it up on my laptop. Was I not supposed to hit the okay? No, because you changed the HDMI. It said to 3, HDMI 3. No, it's 2. Okay, sorry. It's dinner and a show here tonight.
It is. It is.
It is.
Mark, will you take this one?
Mark's
Yeah.
gonna take this one.
Because I want you to run through what the state and supplement.
I wasn't prepared to do this
Well,
slide, but.
More than that, actually.
So the 2% base is the max that we're allowed to increase the tax levy per law. So we're asking to raise it by the 2%, but there are some exceptions where we can go above the 2%. And one of them is healthcare. And that's the only one that is available to the district this year. We know healthcare has skyrocketed. State was 31 point something percent. Ours is around 20% because we're in a different fund. We're not with the state. But even with that, we're able to increase the tax levy by an additional 4.06% in order to help cover those costs for rising healthcare. So by just raising the 2% and the 4.0%, we're able to provide a balanced budget. There was a request to show our history of the capital reserves. So this slide just shows basically that. In 2020, we had 1.7, and in 2025, June 30th year end, we had 1.669, 1,669,000. again, there was a request to show this history, so that's basically what this slide is showing.
And can I toss on the slide, considering that we're drawing so much out of capital reserves in 2026, where do you expect that line to sit when we look at or look back?
So we're using 1 million in the 27 budget, which,
We're expecting that line to drop to.
well, it's going to drop, but then with any breakage that we have after we support the use of the surplus that we have been using, any breakage above that, and we don't know what that's going to be yet, is going to replenish the capital reserves, and that could be another 300.
Clarity, taking $1 billion out, we may get 300,000, but the absolute projecting around $1 million.
Or more, yeah.
That's for your presentation, get all the way through. They're losing their.
We didn't have time.
All right.
So here we have a slide that shows us the revenue sources and the expenditures that goes into our budget that gets submitted to the state. There's the Fund 10, which is your operating expenses and your capital outlay, which is equipment and capital expenditures. Fund 20 is special revenue, restricted. It comes from either the state, the feds, or something that's local. And Fund 40 is our repayment of debt. With the Fund 20, we don't know what that number is yet because we don't get the allocations until sometime mid-June, maybe even July. So this is just an estimate. The state requires us to budget 75% of what we actually got this year. So our special revenue should be more than that, but we submit it as the state requests. Fund 40 is our payment on our long-term debt. So these two is not what we're going to be seeing going forward because it doesn't mean much to anybody, in my opinion. With the revenues, you can see the tax levy makes up the bulk of our revenues and sources. Sources would be fund balance. We're going to contribute 300,000. The capital reserves, the 1.1 million, and maintenance reserves, 30,000. Okay. Operating budget at a glance. The total increases 1.7, total decreases 1.6. And when you look at our operating budget, we're actually just increasing it by 24,000. Why is it 24,000 yet we're raising taxes? That's because our revenues have dropped. State aid. Give me a second. I think I have it here. Our tuition revenues dropped 260,000. Interest income projected 35,000 less than we budgeted for this year. School choice, state aid down 51,000, and extraordinary aid down 139,000. Because we lost those revenue sources, even though we basically balanced our expenditures, we need this state aid in order to make up that difference. breaking out the sources for the operating budget. Can I stand on this side?
Sure.
85, almost 86% comes from the tax levy. And the next biggest source is from the state, almost 700,000 at 7.5%. And then picking up the maintenance reserves of 30,000. This is it in a nutshell when it comes to the where we're getting the revenue to support the operating budget. The expenditures, as I did, as I do every year, I try to break it out by function so you can see how the money's being spent in what areas. The function is broken out by function. What the function is, it's the activity which the expenditure is being spent on. So one activity is instruction, which is 32% of the budget. Employees benefit is 23%. And as you can see, those two alone are more than 50% of the budget. Support for special services, 14%, almost 15%. Maintenance, custodial, and grounds is almost 700,000. Everybody could read what's up here. I'm not sure if I have anything more to say about that. You go ahead. Now, by object, it's the type of expenditure, just breaking it out differently than the function. So again, salaries and employee benefits. Is that 50, 60, 70, almost 74%? 74% relates to supporting the employees. And then everything else is broken down in detail, the professional services, transportation, utilities, and so on. I'm good with that. So what's the estimated tax impact? The assessment and the tax rate came from the town. By plugging those numbers in, we're looking at an average house assessment of $432,000. And the annual increase for this support for the tax levy would be $406. The monthly would be $33.88. And down here on the bottom, you could see that for every 100,000, it's an annual increase about it's $94, and per month it's almost $8, $7.84 is what the estimated tax impact would be by providing the 6.06% increase to tax levy. If we did not have the decrease in the revenues, obviously this would be all different, but the revenues have dropped and the operating budget basically stayed flat. I'm good.
Okay, so now we'd like to take a moment to recognize our team and thank them for the countless hours that they've put into this budget since we started. I believe it was in October. It seems like this is all we've done. Mark even made the administrative team come in on a Saturday, and we were here all day on a Saturday to make cuts and look at every line of this budget, and I'm not kidding. So I would like to thank our athletic director, Jenna Baranek, because she has a piece in the budget for sports. And I had gone to her twice to ask for her to please find something to cut, and she did. So I want to thank her for that. And excuse me, our administrative team. I'm not laughing, I'm joking. But yes, our administrative team who has spent countless hours looking at this budget, eat, sleep, drinking this budget because of Mark. So thank you to all of them who are a part of this. And now what are we going to do looking ahead? Because I think this is even as important as the current budget that we have. Our healthcare costs, they're definitely rising and they're going to continue to rise. So they're outpacing our budget and every year it's going to keep getting worse. Our goal is to protect every position. Obviously, we don't want to cut people or programs. That's really what our end goal is. So we're trying as hard as we can to hold on to what we have. We are a part of a regionalization study. Currently, right now, we are in that regionalizational study. They said it would take about 9 months, 10 months in order to get any feedback on that, but we are trying everything that we possibly can to explore long-term sustainability. And of course, this board is fully engaged and have been from the very beginning and are completely committed to protecting our school and our community to make sure that we keep our doors open and whatever we can to make things happen here in a productive, positive way moving forward. And thank you. I think, Mark, you did a great job on our budget.
Your
You
budget.
know, it's my budget, so thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate that.
Just see the thorn in your side. When will this be on the website for a vote?
Oh, probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Is that
Probably
When will it be on the website?
put an animal-
Presentation?
anthropomorphic animal on
we can do it tomorrow?
our Facebook page. Any general,
Colin, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Question. I got some things I don't want to say regarding that budget. First and foremost, thank you to the administration. I know, I understand how much footage, I've not seen all the hours. Getting the balance budget is incredibly important. So thank you for that. Thank you. During the presentation, James said at one point that there were some choices that were made, chosen to increase some positions. Some of those I understand were mandated, so they weren't a choice. They were positions we had to fill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Also, I just want to say to the community, we understand, we're all taxpayers. We understand that 2% legal and then 4.6% on top. So please understand that this is directly given by the medical costs that are being increased across the board. The state, as Jen said, the 31% increase in the cost of their benefits program. We are fortunate that it's at 21%. 21% on 2 million is another 400,000 into the budget, and then there's nothing left. Talk about that later. Everyone here pays very seriously the tax levy increase, so this isn't driven by discretionary increases. It's what we have to pay for that.
And there's some of that stuff we'll be referencing during the president's report, specifically about the future and how the specific choices that we made and the options that we'll have. Anyone else on the board have any other questions? We're going to open up to, great. Then let's open comments to the public. Those wishing to share comments during this portion of the meeting are asked to, sorry guys, I'm very sick. That's why everyone's sitting so far away.
That's
Uh,
I am taking.
She's taking one for the team.
Just.
The district will pay her copay if she has to go to the hospital. The portion of this meeting are asked to sign their register at the podium, state their name, place of residency, and group affiliation if applicable. Public comment shall be concise and to the point and shall not contain abusive, defamatory, or obscene language. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes. Any takers?
Can we get a motion?
No, this is within inside the public hearing section.
Elizabeth Basile, 16 Upper Kingstown. First of all, the most thorough presentation for the budget so far. So
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you
that.
for that.
Really. I do want to know if you can post all of this specific lost things that Mark was speaking about, because that actually would be really good.
Can you say that again?
All the specific lost money.
Revenue loss,
Yeah.
the rollbacks on the revenue.
Yeah, and also if we could know what was the total of all the reductions. I know you had the slide, but it doesn't tally it up. So quick thing about that. So I came in here actually wanting to know that I've done a little analysis, and historically the township ratables have increased every year. Based on the ratables that the CFO gave the Board of Ed last year to this year, there was an increase of about $2,414,000. So if someone could explain how this increase in the value of ratables is factored into the budgeting process, because if the school, I would assume, is automatically going to be making additional money based on the increase in the ratables, how does that get factored into figuring out what the percentage for the tax levy increase would be? So I get the 2%, I get the 4%, 4.06 because of the health, but where does that other factor gets factored in? Also, the debt service section on the slide said debt service aid for the 63,441. What is that exactly? I just would love to know more specifics about that. I understand the referendum number, but not that debt aid.
Thank you. Yeah, we can, that, some of those will take some research, but we can answer this. Anyone else? Easy breezy. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to echo what Jen said to Mark, Amelia, and Larry. I'll tell you, exiting out of shared service was a tough thing for this school, and being able to balance in the way they did without, I'm genuinely impressed. We could have put ourselves in a lot of turmoil financially with the rollbacks that were done last year. But there was actually savings. There were ways to find a way to balance it. And Mark, you deserve a lot of credit for it. Of course, Jen, you're the chief, but Mark, if it hasn't been said from the community yet, everyone knows Jen and likes Jen. No one likes you. But what I'm saying is that you're the man, and you did some really great stuff. You did some really great stuff here, and I appreciate it. If anyone doesn't know, that me and Mark have a little thing together. It's a little witty banter. But my point being is, thank you guys. The school's better with you, and the community is and should be appreciative of the stuff that you guys are doing. Can I get a motion and a second to close the public hearing section for the budget? Can I get a second? Allison and Colleen, Mark. Moving right along. Can I get a motion to approve action item 7 alpha would be set. Yeah, action item 7, approval of the minutes. Motion? Sylvia, can I get a second? Let's just do a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Fantastic. Item 8, Chief, you're back up.
The 8th grade versus the staff volleyball game went down on Friday, April 17th, and the students brought their A game. I hesitate saying that because I always was, talking smack with them for the whole time, but they did. And after a competitive 3-game battle, the 8th graders claimed bragging rights with a 2-1 victory. So congratulations to our student athletes. And as for the staff, we're starting practices early next year. Yes. FTS also celebrated Take Your Children to Work Day on Thursday, April 23rd. We had all kinds of activities for the kids. Some include spring bingo, a STEAM activity, arts and crafts, photo booth, cookie decorating, just to name a few. And thank you to our staff members who volunteered to help with all of those different activities. So thank you very much for that. On Friday, April 24th, I had the distinct honor of attending the Friends of Education Gala sponsored by the Hunterdon County Education Association. And I was thrilled to bring Mrs. Lamond and Mr. Abramowitz along as my guests. We spent a wonderful evening surrounded by passionate and dedicated educators from across the region, including our very own QEA leadership team, who made the night even more special. So that was lovely, and I look forward to that next year. Our third award ceremony of this year took place on Friday, May 1st, and it was a terrific celebration to close out the season. Congratulations to all of our honor roll students. Your achievement is well-deserved, and we could not be more proud. The one thing I did leave off, but I do want to mention, is it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and as of course, we appreciate all of our teachers. Our PTA is again doing a bang-up job with an entire menu, a week's worth of menu for all of our teachers and staff. It's been incredible so far. We've had chair massages today. We had hot Philly pretzels yesterday. Monday, we had cake and lemonade, all kinds of cake. Tomorrow is a catered lunch. So they are always bringing their A game to this school, and we could not do it without them. So thank you to the PTA, and thank you to all of our teachers. We're so appreciative. That's it, Press. You're up.
With the school business administrator report, the man, the myth, Mr. Kramer.
I'm going to be asking the board to hold the first resolution A. April just ended. It does take time to close out, get everything reconciled, send over to the treasurer. Treasurer happens to be away. So we were not able to get that done. But we do have the transfers and the bill list and the use of facilities. Letter E, I think it's by letter A. Letter E is the annual budget. Letter F is the tax levy payment schedule. The approval of the tuition rates, just to let the board members know, or the new board members know, those tuition rates come from the state budget software. So that's how those numbers are arrived at. There are two on there that did not, and that's because we did not have a program with students in it. So it's a guesstimate, but just in case somebody does apply, I need the board to have a rate for me to be able to create a contract for any receiving students. The food service contract renewal for Mascios, this will be the fourth year. Every 5 years, you are required to go out for an RFP, request for proposal. The state reviews the renewals. There are restrictions on the increases, and we are complying with those increases. The letter I relates to our rates for our medical, prescription, and dental. And the last one is our shared service agreement to provide us with administrative services, basically our routing service in order to do our transportation for the upcoming year. The current projections for revenue and expenditures through the end of the year are looking good still. Site improvement and the bathroom renovation projects are set to start or expected to start on June 22. The new generator is still on hold until the board informs administration to start moving forward again. The theater screen should be up by the end of May.
It's a real shame, because we were really trying to get it
This
done
is
in
the
time
one.
for this presentation, so
one.
we weren't all sitting around
Oh, we're trying.
a small TV. But yeah, the projector will be up, so maybe people can see what we're talking about from time to time.
Like we just can write all that a little bit further, just to confirm for anyone who has been doing it on a regular basis. This was covered by,
It's a grant.
It's being
A
paid for
grant.
out of a
Being
grant.
paid for
yeah.
Right?
from a grant. Yes.
okay, I just wanted to
Yes.
touch on that.
Yes, especially during budget season. Yes.
Yes,
Well said.
especially during budget season.
Mhm.
Because not everybody that's listening tonight may have been a part of earlier meetings and conversations.
Mhm.
The projector, the conversation's a projector there. You guys can actually see it. It'll be
Gonna
up
make
on,
everything
and
much
we're not
nicer,
paying
and
for
we
it
don't
out of
have to pay
tax.
for it.
and we didn't have to pay for it. so
Win-win.
Correct.
Win-win
Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
all around.
The facility condition assessment study is expected to be submitted by the end of May as well. The committee spoke about, and by the way, the committee, for the first time, and I was happy about it, we met in person.
The
committee-
finance committee.
The finance
Yeah.
committee came to the building and office to go through everything. One thing that administration brought up to the committee was that we were looking at a direct install for redoing our lighting that would replace all our non-LED lighting with upgrades to LED. Total cost of the project is about $35,600. The incentive was 18%, which equals 6,400-ish. The cost to the district would be just under 30,000. The estimate savings per year in electric cost because of these upgrades would be approximately 2,000 a year at the current market rates. The committee thought it would be best for us not to pursue this. And the reason why is because if we are doing a referendum, these costs would probably be funded by the state at 34%, not the 18%. So that would be better for the district. So at this time, administration is not moving forward with this direct install lighting program.
Mark, is it all right to add some color to that? It has to, would you want to do it, but the $2,000 a year savings doesn't justify the $38,000 cost. If we can package it up as part of the larger meal of what the bond referendum and the facilities improvements, then for dollar, it absolutely makes sense if the state takes, 38 to 40% more of the cost off the top. So something we're doing, we're just punting it until we got the long range facilities report and a facilities inspection done.
And I believe also what you might be able to do is you're probably going to have to do another direct install program if it exists at the time of the referendum and get the incentive and the 34%.
Yes, yep.
So.
Yep. Good idea.
That ends my report. Would the committee members like to elaborate on anything I said, or does anybody have any questions for me?
No, I think it was the first in-person and a roundtable finance and facilities meeting since the advent of the Zoom. And I appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate you guys having us, but it was all done in the same idea of everyone understands. We were trying to match their step of them meeting on the weekends and coming in. And so we all were circled around the same battle plan when it came to the budget for next year. Anyone else have any questions? And Colin, you have anything else to say on that?
I do want to mention that we only have one more meeting left with Mark. Mark's
Yes.
June meeting will be his last one.
Yes, and I hear there's a bidding war for you.
Was not prepared for you to say that out loud. I know that that's the truth, but I was actually not prepared for you to say that out loud.
And just so everyone knows, Mark has reached the end of his allowable time to work for us because he's technically retired, you're on pension, and the county allowed us to carry him for 3 years when 2 years was the limit. And so we said it out loud and we said it now so we don't forget later. You are worth every penny, and man, the district and town's going to miss you once you're gone. But I do hear there's a bidding war for him amongst other tough districts in town, and apparently Mark is the belle of the ball and everyone wants to invite him to their party. So wherever you end up, you still got friends here. We appreciate you.
All but one.
What's that?
All but one.
All but one. Oh yeah. He was referring to me. He actually likes you.
Oh, okay. Good. I'll take that.
People don't know that me and Mark hang out on the weekends. All right, but going to the president's report, that's me. I had planned a cost per student comparison based off of the local sending district's advertised budget. Over in the corner there, we have our advertised budget, which breaks down cost per student, the amount of students we've had. Legally, every school district has to post this to their website. And I was garnishing all the information from all of the local sending districts. Newsflash out to those folks. Not all of them have to post it, so I wasn't able to get the full amount of information. And if I did the presentation and wrote the names down, everyone would know what school district was violating laws. So I did it. Next month, I will be doing the full presentation, but I am going to give a spoiler alert. The cost per student is directly proportional to the size of population of the school. The higher, the bigger the institution, the lower the cost of the students. The smaller the institution, the higher cost per student. We are not the highest per student cost in Hunterdon County of the schools, though we are in the bottom third. That has more to do with our size than any of our operations. I will have I will do a full presentation next month when I have it, because I was only able to get 6 out of the 12 sending districts. Is that what it was? And on that same note, we're looking at 372 kids next year. That true? That
327?
327. Is that what I just said?
You transposed it.
The goal is to get 372 the following year after that. No, we're looking at 327, which is it's a good amount of kids, but that growth actually lowers the cost per student. And the one thing, and I invite people to go look if you're not here for the next presentation, so many of these school budgets and the actual cost per student, they will advertise that their projected cost per student is 21,000. And then at the end of the year, it's closer to 29 and 30, am I right? 30,000.
Could be.
Not us though. We're pretty close to what Mark projected and what it ended up being, but just a little preview of what we're actually going to be doing. I wanted to talk about the what's next for long-term planning. Can you put up number 4 on your post of where monies was being spent? There's one thing that I wanted to point out to the community, and this is the most important thing when it comes to the school and the budgeting. Though they balanced the budget and they did a great job of it,
Which one is
you just went back to the next one. That boom. Where we've reduced. The fact that we balanced the budget this year might have everyone believe, oh, we're in a good spot, but we're not when it comes to long-term considerations over the next 2 years. And the examples I'm going to give are almost everything in this, every reduction that was made was a one-time accounting practice that cannot be repeated. So the things that Mark and Jen had to do to bring the million, I'll go to that, but the 2 lines where they land evenly of increased expenditures and revenue. And I'm going to use exactly salary, attrition and breakage, 273,000. That is the retirement of our best teachers and our longest term people. That's unrepeatable. There are other considerations in there. Am I wrong? I'm right on that, right?
That would be part of it.
That in and of itself is over 3% increase to the levy. If that didn't happen this year, it would have been damn near impossible for them to do it without cutting services. Same thing as you go, tech services. That's a job that we removed, right? Outsourcing services, specialized education, transportation for education. The other thing was that out of district tuition reductions. Is that the autism program? Those kids weren't doing it anymore, and the autism program that we're introducing.
We brought it in-house.
But I'm going to say we brought them in-house.
We brought them in-house.
Unrepeatable. Elimination of non-essential clubs. Non-essentials doing a lot of legwork right there. Those are after-school programs that never even got their start. That we funded last year, but we weren't able to get them up and running, and then we removed them from the budget the next year in order to balance. I'm not going to go, but contingency for OOD placement.
Out of district.
Out of district placement. That was a preparation, right? That was the one that we prepared. We put money aside in case that happened, and that ended up not being, so we could absorb it back in. The thing that I'm trying to communicate to the community is the hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of this is luck this year. And we would have been feeling it a lot more if a few things didn't go our way. So with that being said, could you go to your last slide?
I can't. So the last one?
The last one, second to last one.
No.
Keep going. Stop. The thing that I wanted to point out to the community is the actual budget increase to the school is 1%. It's a mathematical zero of what they did. We're not adding anything to this place when it comes to the overall way of the mathematics of the school. And then you can go to the last one. Future considerations. Boom, that one. So also I wanted to point that.
Can we stay on that point? Can we actually go back to the previous slide? Because I feel like you breezed over that too quickly.
Too quickly. Yeah.
Jen, do you mind if we go back and look at that? Because I missed that. And Matt, I'm glad that you called that number out intentionally.
They didn't increase the budget. We're not growing.
We haven't added programs. We haven't increased offerings to our students. We haven't made this place a more spectacular place than it was 2-3 years ago.
In fact, we're
All
retreating.
we've done is
Our
just
books are
try
retreating.
to do our darndest
Yes.
to stay ahead of inflationary costs to the existing programs that we are already offering.
In reality, what you should,
I didn't catch that.
in
on the
reality,
first
what you
go-round.
should see here is that total increases should be over 2%. Because we're adding 2% more funds to what's actually happening is we're keeping it the same, but the costs are going up. All of those things are based on outside factors, health benefits, transportation. Go to the last one, Jen. When we
Yeah,
talk
no,
about
and
considerations.
please move forward, Matt. I didn't mean to derail you, but
And they pointed it out, healthcare costs. Based on the conferences and recommendations places we've gone to, they're saying that healthcare costs are going to be larger next year increases are going to be larger next year than they are this year.
Yes.
Protecting every position 100%. Regionalization study underway. People say 9 months, but the reality is we're looking over 2 years based on what I'm talking about with the district presidents from other boards of ed. But when it comes to the regionalization, we'll keep a good, happy face about it. But I'll tell you the same thing my mom told me when I asked if my dad was coming back from getting a pack of smokes. It probably isn't going to happen. It's just not happening, guys. We'll do our best. We'll encourage it. But I want everyone to be completely serious and open-eyed about what's actually going to happen here. Clinton Township and the town of Clinton over 100 years haven't been able to figure out that we should be one town. Do you think a small group of us from a different town are going to be able to convince folks that? We'll put our effort in, but I want people to be serious. The one thing that wasn't mentioned on this when we talk about growing expenditures too is teacher salaries and expenditure gross. I've spoken to a few board members from other towns, and the opening salvo for those negotiations is 3.9% year over year. That's what they're starting out with the negotiation. That's not a critique. I actually think good for them, and I hope they get the money because they deserve it. But think about the mathematics there. 50% of our entire budget, salary budget, is salary alone. Of our operating budget is salary alone. If 50% of the salary grows near to 4%, that's a 2% increase just for salaries alone moving forward. Does everyone get what I'm saying when I say that? Am I explaining that properly?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about, we promised that we would tell you what we need to do to keep the school open for the next 10 years rather than the next 2. And that's probably going to line up in 2 very specific ways. In the next year, we are going to, stop me if I'm wrong or if anyone has it, we are going to be posing questions to the community on ballot. In order to specifically seek funding for programs and services, and to bring back the things we lost and to build up the things that we're going to need in order to keep the school open. For example, not to make hot topics, full-time librarian has been reduced since COVID and pulled back. We've lost that position. We're going to put it to the community to raise the levy to get that specific service back. When it comes to Class 3 officer, the budget was never raised in order to bring that position in. We're most likely going to put that question to the community. You keep the officer, you raise the levy by 1.1% for those specifically. That could be anywhere up to 10%. The beauty about that is, 1, that's the way things used to be, where the community voted for it, and 2, it takes the damn pressure off the board around here because we're putting it to the community. If the community votes for none of these, then I can guarantee you the school will be shut down within 2 years. If they vote for some of them, we have a little bit more air in our oxygen. If the community overwhelmingly supports this place, like everyone's been telling me they will, then the following year we will be going after the bond referendum to fix the facilities here, the cracks in the walls, the leaks, the ceilings, all of those things. During that time, we are going to reach out and encourage the PTA, the Quakertown Teachers Association, the Township Committee, the damn fire department, whoever we can get, the Township Committee, to encourage and push these things through on ballot moving forward, because to me, that seems like the only way to save our ship. And that will be the messaging moving forward. Anyone, go ahead, Galene.
We've a lot to do tonight. We've a lot to do tonight.
I just want to say though, if
Any questions? Does everyone understand specifically what I'm talking about and the plan financially moving forward? Yeah, go ahead, Galene.
if we put something out for a question, like let's say, for example, the security officer,
Perfect.
and that question goes down, we cannot bring that person back then. If the taxpayers vote no, the district can't move forward with that. So I just want to, we'll have those conversations
We'll
down the
stretch it
road,
out,
but I just want to make sure
I
people
want everyone to
understand
be very aware of
Yeah.
what needs to
that.
happen
Being
here.
transparent.
And if they vote no on it, it's very easy for us to use those things to balance the following year's budget,
Mhm.
because the things that were voted no to are the things will be the first things to go when this team has to balance the budget going forward.
Mhm.
Any questions, Mark? Go ahead.
Just clarification.
Yes,
the,
sir.
If it goes down no, you're not allowed to spend money on it in that budget year.
Okay.
You'd have to wait for the whole budget year to be over.
Right.
And then, since we're going back and forth with the slides, can you just shoot back to go backwards? That's forwards.
I'm trying, Mark. Where do you want me to go?
I'll tell you when to stop. Stop. I think this is it. I want to see if it has it.
If it doesn't, I'm sure he's going to blame me.
Yeah, okay. I think there was a question about debt service aid state, this 63,000.
What should he press? Okay,
This,
thank you.
the 63,000 is the 34% that comes from the state that we talk about that they contribute when you do a bond referendum.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of that. We wanted to say rural awareness and the little schoolhouse school event. Thank you to Miss Lynn French and Miss Milo
And Brandt, Mrs. Brandt.
and Mrs. Brandt, and Mrs. Thompson. They brought the kids out to that little
Schoolhouse.
schoolhouse, showed them what it was like to do school there a century ago. And that was very cool. We just wanted to say, and thank you to the teachers and the administration for pairing and pumping up the kids for the NJSLA testing
Mhm.
that's been going on this week. It's been very stressful for my kids and they're very tired. But they were very excited about it.
And that
it
continues
seemed-
into next week. So
What's
we
that?
think-
And that goes into
yes,
next
it
week,
does.
and that continues into next week. And I would just like to say thank you, because it seemed like people treated it like a challenge rather than I'm trying to think of the right word. I
An
appreciate
a challenge, more of a challenge than an obligation.
more of a challenge than an obligation. I'll take that.
It was probably our video.
Also, if would you like me to
You
share?
guys
Would
know.
you like to put that on
No.
the Facebook?
Actually, I would,
No.
of
no,
all the things
no.
we've presented tonight, I would have,
No.
You have the technology to put that up on the
No, she
internet.
doesn't.
right?
Emily, if you accidentally append it somewhere in this video, no one will be mad at you except
Oh,
probably
no,
Jeff.
that's not true. There will be people that will be.
What they're talking about is that the principal, vice principal, and special service supervisor did a video of them singing a popular song, but the lyrics were changed for test taking.
They did, I wouldn't say they danced, but they definitely moved.
They certainly attempted to.
We're working our way up to that. We're
Yeah.
working our way.
One day they'll be breakdancing for us.
Yes, that's right.
Moving right along, public comment. All comments should be directed to the board president. Board will not respond to complaints from and to school personnel unless the chain of command has been followed without satisfaction. Furthermore, the board cannot respond to any complaints from the public directed at any district employee or student, as the board must protect each employee and each student's right to privacy. Those wishing to share comments during this portion of the meeting are asked to sign their register at the podium, state their name, place of residence, and group affiliation, if applicable. Public comment shall be concise, to the point, and shall not contain abusive, defamatory, or obscene language. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes. Any Elizabeth's interested? Anyone? Bummer. All right. Moving right along. Finance and facilities. Mark explained everything for the most part. Does anyone have any questions?
We're holding a.
And we're going to be holding a for now, just because the meeting's so early in May. Usually he has a little bit of time to complete those things. Nothing, anything? Thoughts, jokes, nothing? Fantastic. Can I get a motion for action item 12, A through J? Colin on the motion, I guess.
No way.
B,
Oh, yeah,
B
you
through
did
J.
just say that, didn't you? I apologize. B through J. Colin on the first. Can I get a second? Let's do Mr. Kramer roll call vote, please.
getting there.
Is it hot in here? Is it just me?
It's just
hot.
you.
Yeah. oh,
I gave
I
you-
am running a mad
I gave
fever.
you
Holy crap.
ibuprofen. Take the ibuprofen, please.
Holy moly.
Mrs. Bankin,
Take the damn pills.
Mr. Cecil,
Yeah.
Mop
Mrs.
me up off
Cummins.
the floor.
Yes,
Don't do
Mrs.
that.
Norton,
yes.
Mr.
Take the
Norton.
pill, man.
I already took him. Yes.
passes. Thank you.
Curriculum and education, Mrs. Norton.
We're doing A, approval of the professional day requests. Again, the more they learn, the more we learn. B is approval of submission and acceptance of the funding for optimal comprehensive universal screeners continuation grant. That is us accepting $984 for grant money that was towards our screening programs, such as like just diaples. How do we always say? Dibbles. Always forget how to pronounce it.
Whatever screeners we used in the beginning of the year. Yep.
Yes. C is approval of 26-27 school year calendar revision. That was just adding the back to school nights on the calendar. So it'd be 9/23 and 9/24 were the two back to the school nights. D is the approval of vendor contracts for the school year. You guys can look that up. E is the approval formal research project. And that is our very own Ms. Zollander, who is seeking approval to conduct a research study focusing on math manipulatives in the classroom. This goes towards her doctorate. And that's all I got.
Any questions, any conversation? Mr. Kramer.
Just be aware that if you want to go to the convention in October, let me know as soon as possible. The rooms down there do get filled up quickly, and you might not end up being able to stay at one of the hotels that you get the discounts at. FYI, if you end up in a hotel that is not part of the discount, there is a dollar limit that you could spend on a night in Atlantic City. Anything above that, you would have to pay out of your pocket. So the better, the sooner you get me the information that you're interested in going, I can book a place for you.
Let's do that through an email. We'll start an email chain amongst us. Oh, sorry. I keep turning it off because I'm coughing. We'll do that as an email. So we don't.
Well, we agreed that the board was going to give him notice by August 1st, but you guys are saying now that the hotels are booking, so it'd be,
First come, first serve.
yeah. Yeah. But our deadline for the board is to say yes or no by August 1st so that they can book it for the
I think his
convention.
request is to sooner rather than later.
If you think you're going, let me know.
I think Mark's not gonna be here on
He don't
August
care.
1st, so he's like, I don't know, man, just do what you
If
want.
you think you're interested, say yes, and then you get booked. And then if you say no by August 1st, it could be canceled.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I don't want to, it's gonna be out of my credit card to do everybody. which will be reimbursed
You're
once that
not
happens.
paying for my drinks in my hotel, Mark. Come on.
Well, they only
We've
take
been
a
like
credit card.
semi sort of friends for a while.
Anyway,
Yeah.
No,
A few
I
nights in
think that
Atlantic
is,
City with a
that
bunch
is
of
a really good
educators.
clarification though. Like, our drop dead date to say no is August 1st. But the earlier, because
Yeah.
you are 100% correct. Our drop dead date is August 1st. And if we want to go, it is in the district's best interest financially that we let everyone know sooner rather than later.
and if you don't know, if you know you're not going, let me know too, then I don't have to worry about you. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Can I get a motion to approve action item 13, Alpha through Echo?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Let's do this one on a voice vote. All in favor?
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
No, please don't.
Who motioned?
Colleen,
Colleen on one, Colin on the second.
Colin on the second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Fantastic. Policy and personnel is coming.
All right, well, I have 17 items now. At the risk of making you listen to me talk about 17 items, I'm gonna abbreviate this because most of what we're looking at here, this group that will be voting has had access to links. You've had an opportunity to take a look at who's going to be on the roster. I do want to call out a couple of things though. For the staff appointments for the school year, we thank those folks for taking those roles. For the folks that are going to leave of absence for any reason, we look forward to welcoming you back after those leaves. We wish you the best. Our transfers, I'm going to skip over. I do want to highlight just briefly our ESY folks, the people who will be working ESY this summer, and thank them for taking on that responsibility. The ESY program is important to the school and to students. And knowing that we have the right staff in the right seats on the bus for that program is meaningful to the parents and to the community. So thank you for those employees that have chosen to or have been selected to join ESY this summer. I'm going to skip over most of what you see here in F through L. Again, this team has had access to those opportunities to look at the individuals, and if there were questions, I hope they would have been raised before now. I want to just jump down to the job descriptions. We've talked about this in the last couple of meetings. We're adding residency and criminal background check requirements to our job descriptions in order to bring them up to a level of compliance. This is just another iteration, as you've heard last meeting and the prior meeting. We're continuing to iterate on that plan and bring all of our job descriptions up to where they should be. And then our new hires, as they come on in the fall, we look forward to hearing about those. But I think that's a 17-point agenda, pretty quick, I would hope. Are there any questions? Because this was a really thick policy and personnel section this month.
That all seemed pretty standard fare, you know.
Okay. We're continuing to work through, every committee is continuing to work through our review of the policies. They are thick in and of themselves, thicker than this agenda was. And thousands of pages are being reviewed. And I really do appreciate, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record or I'm going to sound disingenuous at some point as I continue to just say thank you. But thank you to the whole board and thank you to our chairs of each committee for pushing your committee members and for making this happen. We are looking forward to, by the time we come back in September, being fully done and approved and ready to move forward with our Strauss Esme policy manual. And that is my spiel.
Fantastic, thank you. Can I get a motion to approve action item 14, A through Q? I don't even know.
So moved.
Can I get a second? Fantastic. This is personnel, so it requires a roll call vote. Mr. Raymond.
Mrs. Bankin, Mr. Cecil,
Yes.
Ms. Cummins,
Yes.
Mrs. Norton,
Yes.
Easy for you to say.
Mr. Norton,
Yes.
passes. Sorry about that.
Communications Committee, Mr. Cecil.
The communications committee, we had some last minute conflicts, so we didn't need this one, so there's nothing about early conflict.
Township Committee Liaison, that's me. There's nothing to report concerning the school from what I could gather. Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission, Ms. Bagan, have they met yet? It's
I
quarterly.
met with them like part of the week, myself, because I want to, and then there's a meeting, I'll see if I can choose that on this pretend, but nothing else.
Excuse me, June it is. Board matters and new business. With the exiting and entering of a new member, we are reshuffling the committee seats a little bit. I sent that out to the members in the email. Jim's going to be coming to the finance facilities. You're going to be switching over to education, and whatever lucky new member will end up with Colleen and Sylvia on the policy and personnel and communications. Great. All right. We're going to move on to the interview portion for the board vacancy. Yes. Wait, is that just to have a second public comment? But that's not
Yeah.
part of this.
I think we need to do a general public comment.
Does anyone want to do a public comment before I read all of this? That public comment, we tried.
Can we do like a quick water refill?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go?
Yeah, do your thing. I'll read it out. Okay. All right, other business. We are going to do public interviews for candidates for the board vacancy spot. Those two candidates are Jeff Kastner and Linda Hunt. I am going to read out the processes of what we're going to do that was approved by legal. And so everyone knows the steps of what we're about to do. Before the interview begins, the legal recommended that we convene in closed session to review sample questions and agree on those. That was done at the beginning of the meeting. In public session, at the beginning of the interview section, we will draw a name out of this hat. And because we're winners here, we're choosing the Phillies hat to decide who goes first.
Fair.
And determine the order. The candidate who is not being interviewed first should be escorted to a separate room and asked not to use their phone. After the first interview concludes, that candidate may remain in the room while the second candidate is interviewed. Once both interviews are done, the board will reconvene in closed session to discuss the candidate's qualifications. No formal decision will be made at that stage. We will then return to public session. Under a recent court decision, Monroe Township versus somebody, before the floor is open for public comment or for calling for nominations, the chair will briefly summarize for the public the substance of what was discussed in closed session. The chair will then open the floor to public comments, specifically on the candidates, the process, and/or the closed session deliberation. After public comment, chair will call for a nomination. Each nomination must be seconded to be considered. Once all nominations with seconds are made, we will call for a motion to close nominations. With nomination closed, the board secretary will call the roll. If one candidate is nominated, it will be a standard yes, no, or a sustained vote. If more than one candidate is nominated, each board member will simply state the name of the candidate they wish to appoint. There is other stuff beyond that in case we get deadlocked, but I'm not going to bore everyone with that. I need to rip a piece of paper with names.
I got, no,
Yeah,
don't
nice.
do that.
What?
I'm worried that was on your head and you're Losing.
It wasn't on my head today.
You're
Stop making that
germs
face.
right
What's
now.
up with that face? Oh my God. I've been to meetings when you were sick and I didn't just look at you going like, oh my God. Oh. How dare I show up to work and I bought the ticket, I took the ride. I think the word you guys are looking for is thank you for sweating on everything.
I love that. It's writing germs.
Oh, there's a few other things I just wanted to point out. I wanted to say thank you to Jim Giordano. He's been in contact with me, one of our other members. He's been in contact with me throughout this entire week, giving some his experience and giving some insights on how to do this best. Same thing goes with Mark Zedermer, the district's attorney. Smaller thank you to him. He gets paid to do it. And thank you to you guys. We're very lucky to have you. And the district, you can have the community's lucky to have you guys just stepping up. I really appreciate it.
First person put their hand in the air gets this one.
Make one of them do it. Yeah.
You guys aren't making me feel bad about myself at all. I just want you to know. Jeff, hit the bricks.
Take your turn.
That'd be fun. I'm gonna bring you to the city. And we have. I'm
I'm totally sick. I just want to hold the microphone over so. people
Yeah, I
can-
want to give it an opportunity.
Bring you to the office so you have a nice place to sit.
I was sick. Go ahead.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable. You want to stand behind the
What
podium?
makes you feel most comfortable?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Here. You get their cell phone while you're in here.
Regretting my decision already.
I kind of feel like you need to sing me a song right now.
You do look like you're.
Is this like, good? There we go. Okay. Anyway, okay, yeah. I am a good singer. I didn't put that in my letter of intent, but it, you know, if that
We'll mark it
qualifies
down as
me, I will, yeah. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Who wants to fire away first?
I got the first one.
Go ahead.
First
I
question.
thought we were gonna go around with each person.
Oh, I was doing by number question. I had number 2. Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
Go for it. Oh, I go first.
You're first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought in the things. There's numerical order, right?
What a good use of executive session. Guys, yeah. Boy, do we look organized.
I do have 5 kids. You guys could just say it all at once and I can probably like pick out who's talking and answer them.
Who's talking the loudest? Hi, Linda. I'm Sylvia.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
First question we have for you. Is there a particular issue that motivates you to serve on the Board of Education?
Well, I'm definitely interested in the budget, as a lot of people are. But I have a lot of kids in the school. I'm interested in all of it. I don't claim to know everything that goes on, so this would be definitely a learning experience for me. I know that I don't know what I don't know. So I'm sure things will stick out to me if I end up sitting here with you guys, and I will find a place to be very interested. But right now, I'm just kind of a general willingness to serve and dive in.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for being here. If you could change one thing about our district, what would it be?
Such a broad question. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know everything about what goes on. I certainly have the best interests of our students in mind. And I imagine once, I get my hands around something, I will find something to invest in. But at this point, I just want to do the best that I can for all of our kids. I mean, I am concerned that I would love the school to stay open. I love that my kids go here. I live around the corner. I live right on Locust Grove. It's an experience to be able to have that. I love being a Franklin resident. I mean, we walk to school sometimes. It's great that I love that my kids, I have a pre-K 3, like the youngest grade. I have an 8th grader. So, and a bunch of kids in between. And I think it's really a special experience for them to be in the same building together for as long as they have. And just that they have this as part of their childhood has been really special for me. And I hope for them as adults when they look back. So I want to keep it going. I was dismayed to hear what you said, Matt. But appreciative of the honesty, but like, you know, I really am, I would be sad to have this, you know, to have this little school go away. It's a big part of like my children's growing up, and it's been a part of my life since I moved out here. So. Hi.
What is the best way to address differences of opinion on the board or between the board and the administration?
Calmly, I think is the best way. I definitely am a big fan of listening. I do like to talk, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a talker too. But I like to listen, and I also just, you know, I know that there are many paths to one solution. So even if I have an opinion and someone has a different one, and you know, the prevailing wisdom is someone else's opinion, I try not to let those things ruffle my feathers. And you know, we walk the path, and you know, we navigate it together. So I just think being calm and not treating every issue like it's a 5-alarm fire is very important.
Oh, I got the fun one.
Uh-oh.
And it's something that I think anybody that's been on this board for more than a year has encountered. Would you support a board decision that you did not vote in favor of? Why or why not?
I want to say yes, because I feel like you're in, you know, if you accept a seat on the board, you need to be prepared for that to happen. And it's just unrealistic to think that you would never be in that position. And it also would negate the power of everybody's vote. I mean, there has to be a time where I would not be in agreement with something. And like I said before, the prevailing wisdom is not what I think. There are some issues that I draw a very hard line on, but I don't think that those things would come up necessarily. So, you know, I want to say like, yes, I would be able to, you know, if I didn't vote for it, I couldn't say that I supported it, but would I be able to exist and like do the job still? Yes, 100%.
Totally fair answer. I got the best one. What do you see as the major issue facing the school district and public education as a whole?
Facing our district, I would say, is the money issue. You know, I said quite a bit about that before, so I don't need to touch on that. What was the second part of your question, if you don't
Or
mind?
public education as a whole?
Public education as a whole. You know, I don't know. I'm concerned that I would like public education to focus on certain things. I think maybe sometimes that focus is misdirected, but I think in general, you know, we all want the best for our kids, and there's a lot of different opinions on what that is, but I think keeping them safe, keeping them healthy, teaching them what they actually need to know. You know, I love things like the Road to Readiness, like stuff that actually teaches them how to be an adult, things that they're going to need to know that I know, like certain gaps in my education, you know, that I had to kind of just learn after I got married or when I lived on my own for the first time. So I think things like that are very important, in addition to obviously math and reading, but.
That's it. Those we're only using 5 questions because yes, sir. Because you're not interviewing for Google. So yeah,
That's
keep it very simple. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Do I get to stay for?
You can.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Take more ibuprofen.
The lower temperature.
He can't.
Take more ibuprofen.
I tell you.
can't.
I tell you.
Good luck.
Ibuprofen will lower a fever.
Well, I'm already on like a rotation of ibuprofen.
Yeah, he has.
You have him.
Yeah, he has another 2 hours. I have like a timetable for him, like a little kid.
He's a nice solid breakthrough fever. You take it down.
In the middle of the night last night, I just like started shivering.
Fine. When it's over, you'll
Yeah, what it really is, and I'm going to be honest with everyone. It's please you can come on up. You can either sit down or
Stand up and
stand at the mic or the podium.
you have to sing a song. She sang a song, so now it's your turn. No.
She knocked it out of the park. What song are you gonna do? Mr. Castor, thank you. I appreciate you. we only are doing 5 questions, and I'll open it up to the floor.
Hold on, she's got to do something.
Lil. Thank you.
We're going to do the same order. We're good with
Say
that.
it just as the same order.
Hi,
Everyone
Jeff.
gets the same treatment.
I get the first question, Jeff. Nice to meet you. So the first question is there a particular issue that motivates you to serve on the Board of Education?
So I think what drove me to want to get involved is the financials. I think everything else, I'm generally very happy with the school. It's been good for our family. I like the way the school is. I mean, it reminds me of the school I went to when I was a kid. I was from Alexandria, and it was a similar sized school. But coming to this I've been coming to the meetings this year, and hearing about the financials has me concerned. And I mean, I don't know that I have a solution to it, but I'd like to try to help if I can. It sounds dire. I don't get the impression that Matt is exaggerating it. It's concerning to hear, and I don't want anything bad to happen to this place. So if I can help, I would like to.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
If you could change one thing about our district, what would it be and why?
So, I mean, I hate being like a one position like thing, but really like I really do only have like kind of a main concern. And I think that if I could wave a wand and have us part of a regional school district, like I think that I would definitely do that. It seems it's like it makes sense as explained to me. It seems like we would save money if some like main things like buses and extended school year stuff was kind of shared with amongst like a larger basket. So yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, it sounds like that is not, at least not like happening very soon, but I think that to me sounds like a path forward. Maybe not the only path forward, but a path forward.
Yeah. What is the best way to address differences of opinion on the board or between the board and the administration?
I think that probably happens a lot. And I guess like in my personal life, I try to remember that most people are not evil, and just because they disagree with you, like they're probably coming from a good place. They just have a different way of thinking about it. And, I think if you try to keep that in mind and talk it over, one side might win over the other or vice versa. You might have to compromise. But, I think it's better than just taking like a hardline stance. Is that like the question? Okay.
I'm up next. Could you support a board decision that you didn't vote in favor of? Why or why not?
Yes. And I think it kind of relates to the way I answered the last question. I think by the very nature of the way it's set up, you have a group of people that might not all agree on something, but have kind of the same goals in mind. And, if the majority feels that it should go in one direction, again, they're not just doing that. Like they're coming from a place of trying to help, and maybe I don't think that would help. Maybe I'll come around. Either way, like that, I would support the system that brought us to that solution.
I get the last one. What do you see as the major issue facing this school district and public education as a whole?
I mean, it seems like costs. you touched on the healthcare thing tonight multiple times. And that is something, and it's come up at the meetings before, that is something that I heard in my personal life at work. Like this is not a situation that's, unique to this. It's affecting everyone, obviously. But I mean, we had a difficult meeting at work where they explained to us the increased healthcare costs, and what what the ramifications were going to be. And, it's just been getting worse every year. I mean, we've had the same meeting at work, for a couple years now, and and luckily I'm not being asked to try to solve that problem because that seems very difficult, but I don't know. I mean, you still got to deal with it somehow. These costs just are going to snowball.
Yep. That
That
ends,
concludes
that
our
concludes the interview portion. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
reminding.
That's
again,
really
we'll be
difficult.
moving
Thanks, guys.
to
That was
executive
hard.
session after this.
Okay, at this point, once the interviews are done, the board will reconvene in closed session to discuss the candidates' qualifications. So that means I need to get a motion. Can I get a motion to approve the above executive session resolution of Franklin Township Board of Education adjourning the closed session to discuss matters related to board vacancy interviews, wherein the length of time of executive session is expected to be approximately, let's say 15 minutes. After which the meeting shall reconvene and proceed with business wherein action may be taken. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? That we need to do a vote on that. Can I get a voice vote? All in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? We will be going into executive session at 7:30. portion of the Franklin Township Board of Education meeting at 7:52. Yeah, did I get that right? Can I get a motion? Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? We'll put. You vote yes on getting back to the meeting? All right, that's unanimous. I'm just going off of the recommended script. We then return to public session. Under a recent court decision, before opening the floor to public comment and calls for nomination, I will briefly summarize for the public the substance of what was discussed in closed session without going into unnecessary detail. We have a real issue on our hands. You two are far better people than us, and you're pretty awesome. And the conversation had more to do with Dan and how tough it was between the. We can't find any negatives is maybe the best way of saying it. So, folks, the qualification we were talking about your involvement in Boy Scouts. We were talking about your history in the community and your professional, your job when you worked with for payroll. Any other things I'm missing? We kind of just hum and hawed for a little bit, and we were far more comfortable having no one apply than having two really good people apply and making it our decision. And there was a lot of jokes about flipping coins. So I'm just putting that out there. Any other things that we touched on? I really did sum up the past 15 minutes. A lot of rubbing our necks and going, okay.
Well, I mean, if I could just call out Jim, who's not here, I did say more than once, where the hell is Jim?
It would have been nice to have
Would've been
another
nice to
person to
have
break
another
ties. Yes.
opinion, to break some thought processes, but that said.
So with
I
that
just
end
wanted to
done,
make
we
sure.
are going to open it up to public comment. And all public comment should be directed to the board president. The board will not respond to complaints to or from the school, from or to school personnel unless the chain of command has been followed without satisfaction. Furthermore, the board cannot respond to any complaints from the public directed at any district employee or student, as the board must protect each student and each employee's right to privacy. Those wishing to share comments specifically on, it's here, I'll get it. The candidates, the process, or closed session deliberations. During this portion of the meeting are asked to sign the register at the podium, state their names, place of residency, and group affiliation if applicable. Public comment shall be concise to the point and shall not contain abusive or defamatory or obscene language. Each speaker will be given up to 3 minutes. Thank you, guys. That will end closed public comment at 7:56. We will now open up with public comments closed. We will now open up nominations. Who would like to start? Boom. Linda, can we get a second? I'll second it. Anyone else? Jeff, can I get a second? Okay. Any other nominations? Anyone we want to surprise? Any surprise dark horses out there? Then that we will close the nomination portion of the meeting. Do I need to motion for that? Can I get a motion to close the nomination to fill the vacancy on the board?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Colleen and Allison. All right, with the nominations closed, the board secretary will roll call.
What order?
So this is how this will go down. Hold on one sec. Based on the lawyer's recommendations. If only one candidate is nominated, there wasn't. If more than one candidate is nominated, each board member will simply state the name of the candidate they wish to appoint to the vacancy. Mr. Kramer, roll call. So you have two options. It's Jeff or Linda, if you guys don't mind the
Wait, so he's in a
informalities.
roll call, we just say one of their
Say
names?
the name.
And why? We're just. their
You don't
names?
have to say why. I already explained what was discussed in
Okay.
closed session.
Mrs. Baker,
Linda.
Mr. Cecil,
Jeff,
Mrs. Cummins,
Linda.
Mrs. Norton,
Jeff.
Sorry, man.
You guys suck. It's really a coin flip.
I didn't call your name yet.
Go ahead.
Mr. Norton.
I'm gonna go Jeff.
Okay. I expect you to mess with him on every single vote, every second of.
With
this
that
meeting.
being said, guys, literally a coin. They watched me flip a coin in the back when we were leaving the room because these people couldn't come to a majority. Thank you. I actually hope you guys run for the board, and I would endorse you. I really, really do appreciate you taking the time and putting your name out there. Anyone, everyone, and I speak for
I
the
don't-
board
I
on
don't-
that.
I don't have the gavel. I don't own the gavel, but I'm also sitting in the vice president's seat and want to second that. Like this was not an easy conversation. This is not a fun job that you just won. And I'm just grateful that you both were willing to offer your time to this board. I hope that you know that we did not take this lightly and that we do really appreciate it. If we could have taken both of you, we would have. Jim's on vacation, but we're not allowed to replace him if our seat says so.
I nominated you. You're here.
But no,
Anyone else?
with all seriousness, thank you. Thank you both so much.
I would just like to say, I didn't vote for Jeff. Linda, I would be thrilled if you were on the board. I mean, you really excessive, and thank you for taking the time. It wasn't often.
Good. You have anything else?
At the next meeting, we'll swear you in only if you go through that. We need to get back the criminal background check on you. So we'll be reaching out to you very soon to fill out that information so that we can get the response from that. And as long as you're cleared, we'll be able to swear you in at the next board.
I would
meeting.
love for right now you to be like, oh, wait, hold on. Whoa. Everyone pump the brakes here. Yeah. We did. That's the end of the noteworthy dates. Next board meeting was scheduled for June 24th. Can we start onboarding him?
Yeah.
Prior to the swearing in?
Absolutely.
We could do whatever we want, other than he's not a board member.
Copy that. Next board meeting is scheduled for June 24th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Adjournment. Having reached the end of the meeting and the agenda,
Hit the gavel and make.
declare adjourned. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you. No, at 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.